Hi, my name is Matthew Bellisario. Thanks for coming back by the BellisarioSonic YouTube channel from the heart of the Deep South on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama, where we talk about music, records, do record reviews, interviews, and much more. If you're into jazz, you definitely want to subscribe to the channel. Probably about 75 to 80% of the reviews that I do are jazz record reviews. And also, if you missed yesterday's ongoing interview series with Vladimir Shafronov, you definitely want to go back and check that out, where he tells wonderful stories about classical pianists, especially the great Frederick Gulda. So a lot more of those to come. I've been putting those out in small, 30-minute chunks and things like that, because we've got hours and hours worth of material, conversations that we've had over the past, and hopefully we'll be doing more of those. And then maybe at some point I'll put those out in long form. Leave your comments on those and let me know if you like them in shorter chunks, where you come back and get more of the conversation on different topics, or if you'd like to have like a 3-hour version of it. Let me know. Today, however, we are still catching up on reissues, and today we have Harold Land the Fox, which was originally recorded in 1960 on the HiFiJazz label and then Contemporary. This was recorded August of 1959 at Radio Recorders in Hollywood, California. This reissue here is on the Craft label. Acoustic Sounds, however, is the series it's put out under with Craft. And you've got the original Lacquers here. Lacquers are cut from the original analog tapes by Bernie Grundman, pressed on 180 gram vinyl at QRP. So we'll be talking a little bit about Harold Land, because I don't know anything about Harold Land. I know his name, I know a few records he's played on, but I don't know anything about him, who was born December 18th, 1928 in Houston, Texas. Died July 27th of 2001 at the age of 72 in LA. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. We're going to play this record here. We've got 6 tracks and also some interesting players on who I'm going to talk about, because I didn't know about this trumpet player, Dupree Bolton. Interesting story about him. You've got Elmo Hope on piano, Herbie Lewis on bass, and Frank Butler on drums. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And again, I like giving you guys just a little bit of background on these records, but I didn't know a whole lot about Harold Land. As I just said, he was born in Houston, Texas, but he grew up in San Diego, California. He started playing at 16 years old. He made his first recording as a leader of the Harold Land All-Stars for Savoy Records in 1949. In 1954, he joined the Clifford Brown Max Roach Quintet, which, of course, those guys were kind of at the forefront of the hard bop bebop movement. The Land family moved from San Diego to LA in 1955, and there he played with Curtis Counts, led his own groups, co-led groups with Bobby Hutcherson, Blue Mitchell, and Red Mitchell. So let's go ahead and pull this out. I'll show you the record. It's on kind of that green Contemporary label. So it does come in your anti-static QRP sleeve. There's your label. In the early 80s through the 90s, he worked regularly with the Timeless All-Stars, which consisted on Land on tenor, the great Cedar Walton on piano, Buster Williams on bass, and Billy Higgins on drums, and then Curtis Fuller on trombone, and Bobby Hutcherson on vibes. He was also a professor at the University of California, LA. He joined the UCLA Jazz Studies program as a lecturer in 1996 to teach instrumental jazz combo. He has 17 albums as a leader and around 80 as a sideman. And he's played with, as I just said, he's played with Billy Higgins. He played with Cedar Walton, Hampton Hawes, Bobby Hutcherson, Carmel Jones, if you remember him, Wes Montgomery, Gerald Wilson, Blue Mitchell, Bill Evans, and others. So that's a little bit about him. Didn't know a whole lot about him, but there's this interesting trumpet player on here, which Dupree Bolton on trumpet. When I flip the record over, I'll give you a little information about him. So let me clean this off. Let me wipe off both sides with some distilled water. We're going to drop this on. This is pretty much a straight ahead hard bop type of record. Again, got this over the holidays when I purchased a bunch of different reissues that were on sale, and this was one of the ones. You know, with the Blue Note, I like a lot of them, but some of the Blue Notes, you know, that they put out, you know, didn't catch my attention. This is one of the ones that did catch my attention. So, all right, so let's go ahead. I'm not Blue Note, I'm sorry. Acoustic Sounds reissues and Craft reissues. But it does go for Blue Note as well. The Blue Note's putting out a lot of those 60s pressing, you know, 60s reissues, and some of those aren't catching my attention. And that goes for pretty much all of the reissues by these different companies. I listen to them carefully before I get them, see if I'm really into them. Because there's just so many out there now. So, all right, so here we go. Side one. This is kind of crazy. This one's called the Fox, and they just blaze on this. It's like 360 or close to 400 beats per minute, this tune. Dupree Bolton there. Intense trumpet playing there, but yeah, nice sounding record overall. I think it's, you got your separation in your piano over here, your trumpet over here, your saxophone here. Bass is more down the middle with the drums. So I wouldn't say it's the most it's got a decent warm sound to it, but it doesn't have the most depth to it like I've heard on a lot of other recordings. So drums sound nice. You know, your piano sounds a little confined, stuck over here in this left speaker. So you're not really hearing a full resonance on the piano. But, you know, a lot of the recordings were recorded that way. horns sound wonderful. Cutting the trading, 4 to 2 to 1. Nice, that's smoking. The Fox, 360, 380 beats per minute. That one smokes. All the tunes on here are 5 to like 7 minutes, a little over 7 minutes, so straight hard bop. Again, this trumpet player, very good, is unknown to the jazz world because he's only on a couple of albums. Unfortunately, because of his prison time in relation to drug use and possession. So this one's called the Mirror Mind Rose, Elmo Hope tune. So you've got, out of the 6 tracks, 4 of them are Hope tunes, 2 of them are Harold Land tunes, and the whole album smokes. You've got, your kind of straight ahead hard bop type stuff going on. So this trumpet player, Dupree Bolton, spent time in San Quentin with Art Pepper. And they said that in prison, he got so good he practiced 17 hours a day in prison. And Bolton said that he probably would have died when he was young had he not gone to prison. And he said he would have overdosed on heroin had he not gone to prison. But in '59, he got out of Terminal Island prison, was able to play in the jazz clubs in LA after being off the scene for like 12 years. So he quickly gained a reputation as a major talent among jazz musicians. Saxophonist Harold Land and pianist Elmo Hope heard about Bolton from the drummer, Frank Butler. Land and Hope worked together with Butler in the Curtis Counts group, and Land was looking for musicians for this record date that was coming up, which is this album you're listening to. And so Land had never heard Bolton before. 1959, he saw the trumpet player live and hired him to play the sessions for this LP. It's an interesting story. Unfortunately, Bolton's last professional recording was 1963. So, went back to prison for forgery, drug-related crimes, and spent the next 20 years serving prison sentences. So here you have a nice ballad. sides about 16 to 18 minutes, so it's a pretty quick listen. Traditional, you know, straight ahead hard bop record, 6 tunes. Here you have his trumpet playing. As far as the sound quality goes, it's been pretty decent. It's a flat record. You know, I may have heard a tiny bit of surface noise, but it's been pretty clean listen. What I'm going to do is let this tune play. I'll let it play into the 3rd tune, and then I want to play the whole record. But I want you guys to hear 1 second, please, at least part of it. And then I'll flip it over and we'll listen to at least the tune off the other side before we close out the record review. So if you like straight ahead, hard bop, you know, music, I think you're gonna dig this. This is, again, this would be a great entry point for somebody who's just getting into jazz. Especially with that opening track, The Fox, it's just such a high tempo and a lot of fun to listen to. Then you've got tunes like this. You get your ballad there, but then you've got some more smokers on this as well. And again, even though there's not really standards on here, these are pretty good tunes. Nice. Drums sound pretty nice. Again, you've got that traditional kind of mix going on where you've got the panning, hard panning. So it's not the most, you know, it's a decent sounding record, but it's not the best of some of these that I've gotten. Some of these other reissues sound a little bit better, but it's still nice. So this one's called 1 second, please. Again, get back to that. Two horns sound beautiful, though. Bring this down those are all 3 tracks off the first side. You've heard at least some of the, the first 2 tracks, and then that's the 3rd track. So I'm going to flip it over and listen to Sims Aplenty, another Elmo Hope tune. Again, great playing by these guys. This trumpet player here, only a couple of albums you're ever going to hear him on, and this is the most famous one. And good stuff. Died in 2001 from a stroke at the age of 72. Yeah, it's just nice swinging. Elmo Hope on piano, man, is great. This is one of his tunes. Yeah, I gotta recommend this one for a nice healthy dose of hard bop. I mean, this is a great record. So great smoking record. Again, it sounds pretty good. It's not the greatest recording I've ever heard, but it sounds pretty good. We'll close out with this tune here called Little Chris by Harold Land. If you like straight hard bop, nice record. Something that, you know, a bit different of a, you know, less well-known lineup here of musicians, if you will. Herbie Lewis on bass, nice sounding, full sounding bass, the way it's tracked. I think for me, probably the weak point of the recording are the drums. For some reason, the snare and some of those aren't quite as resonant as on other records you hear them recorded, but not terrible. Horns sound wonderful. Land's saxophone over here. It is consistently mixed throughout the whole record, so yeah. All right, folks, stay tuned. I got a lot more coming your way. This is a great one. I've got still the Miles Davis Birth of the Blue coming. I've got Herbie Hancock over here. I've got more Chet Baker, some more Japanese BBE releases. So a lot of stuff coming your way here, sitting down here. So stay tuned all this week, beginning these a lot of these reissues done. A couple of new ones coming in as well, and those will be coming in. I'll probably start doing those the week after. So Harold Land the Fox, and again, wonderful record. One of the few that you're going to get with Dupree Bolton on trumpet. It's just smoking on this whole record. All right, folks, we'll see you on the next video. Take care.